So here we're going to look at updating the asset data within SmartValve. So really quick, just run through and recap about how we do that. So here I'm on my operations page. I have a standard valve up on this valve here. So when I press view, it pulls me through to the valve detail page. Here you have this big yellow bar. So this is telling us there are really critical pieces of data that are missing that affects the ability of SmartValve to do the job around the operations. So if you click on that yellow bar, it tells you what's missing. So in this case, we're missing the diameter of the valve and we're missing the diameter units, and there are no images. So that's given us the critical data that's missing, but there's probably also other data that you could add in here. So to get into that valve asset edit form, we use the three icons at the top, the one in the middle, which is the paper and the pencil there. So we click on that, and that opens the edit forms. So there are 4 forms indicated by the green dots down the bottom, and you can scroll using the next or the arrows backwards and forwards through these. But any data that you add or you change, you must press one of the green ticks on one of the pages to save that data. That will save all of the data that you've put into the form, so you don't have to save every page. Add all the data that you want to, press the green tick, and that will save it. So some of the critical data that was missing, if you remember from here, was things like diameters. So here we're missing the operational status of the valve, we're missing the diameter of the valve. So, we need to put that in there, and we need to add the units. Without that, we can never set a valve term profile for the valve, so that needs to be added. Obviously things like valve number you're not going to change, probably valve type will probably be right, but you can change it. Again, all of these just by clicking into the boxes with your finger opens up the menus, which you can then change at the bottom by scrolling backwards and forwards. Okay, so anything on here, the orientation, pressure, turbidity, all of this information is available for you to add. Key, obviously we talked about valve location as well. A couple of ways of doing it: stand on where the valve should be and press that big green button, that will reset it, or click into the map. Once you've clicked into the map, if you click and hold down on the page, you can then move the valve and you can move it round the mains. So potentially if the valve's right over here, I'm sure it won't be, or it's just a little bit different, so it could be here. Then once you drop and let go, that will reset that valve, and you can then, once you close that down, save it, and that will save that information. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to close it because I don't want to move that. That's right. So everything in here, like I say, editable. And finally we have the pictures as well. If you remember, taking a picture, press the icon, take or pick a photo. So take a photo, you can take one directly from your camera and it'll launch the camera. Pick one from your camera roll. Once you've taken one and saved it, you can click into it again and annotate it on the screen as we showed in the training. But again, every time you come out of this, that big green tick will save the information that you've got. So I'm not going to save this data. I don't want to overwrite what's on there already, but that's how you update the assets very quickly. And we hope that you'll get those done and updated in your regular working practices every day.